Obviously, you've been out the last few days, but do you have anything new on Isaac that you didn't have Sunday?
I think he's cleared to practice today, so we'll see how it goes. But feeling confident that he's closer to playing. Expect him to, I'd say, where it was hopeful Sunday, and he was starting to work out, but medical people thought it was probably best that he another couple days rest. So I think we're heading the right direction.
Washington broke out of their 9-game slump and had a pretty confidence-building win against Cal. Do you think they'll be a different team with the confidence, with maybe some more
I think,
energy?
yeah, absolutely. I think I was looking at their point differential in the year is positive, which is amazing. They had 2 blowout wins at home. But, the talent's good. They're young. And any time a young team can go either way. But you would think after playing well against Cal, they'll definitely have some momentum.
Do you see any alterations with the starting lineup coming up to Friday?
I hadn't thought about it. Maybe Tony gets inserted in there. Counted their size a little bit. But haven't made any final decisions. But, Tony, I think, has been playing well and getting closer to 100%. And when we're playing CJ and him at the forwards, I think we're a little bigger, a little more athletic. I don't know if now just bigger.
With McDaniels giving the Huskies a unique spark off the bench, you said Tony may start this upcoming Friday, or maybe Cannon would kind of take his 6-man role. Do you kind of emphasize that to the bench players this Friday to kind of shut down McDaniels coming out?
He's a big part of scout, and I think we had a few guys that did. I think CJ guarded him a little bit, and Noah did a good job making it hard for him to catch. DJ might have him a little bit, but he's a good player. You gotta take away what you can. He's still going to make some plays that are just from his talent. They're going to be hard to stop.
LB had a career high in points last time out. Do you sense maybe an alteration in defense from UW going on to LB?
I think they'll be a little more attached to him. I imagine it would be it'd be natural. But I'm pretty confident they're going to be in their zone, and they extend it out pretty far as it is. So if they're going to move it out to 40 feet away, it'll be interesting. But they do a good job, and CJ threw in a couple long ones, which you're going to have to against them to beat them. You're going to have to make a couple that are they're just so long and quick.
With the possibility of the team dropping below 500 for the first time since the Cayman Islands, does that kind of change the mentality going into this game?
No, we're trying to win every game, and I think you can't get caught up in that. There's ebbs and flows, and it's been obviously, like I said, with the injury guys coming back and one going out, that's been challenging, and we haven't played well offensively for sure. So we just got to control what we can control, and play well and see if we can get this done.
On top of getting back Isaac scoring, which is obviously a big part of his game, he leads the Pac-12 in assist rate during conference play at like 39, I want to say. How important is it for him to come back, just as it comes to creating shots for others as well?
Yeah, it's more than just even the passing and the scoring ability. It's just, some guys they refer to as gravity, like they're shooters that the defense sticks to. Well, he's got a little bit of that, plus he draws other attention. And I said, you can't necessarily measure it with the naked eye sometimes. But if people know how the scout is, and it just creates, it moves everyone up the depth chart. When he's out, everyone else on the scout. So usually CJ is going to be their biggest concern, and Isaac's right behind him. So we hadn't had anyone fill that void. You probably need 3 of them. And Tony would have been kind of coming on as our third option there, but he was out for a month. So we're getting him back in there. Marvin's another guy, so it just changes our dynamics there. And so hopefully we can get settled in and get those guys going again.
Last time you guys played them, Jeff did a remarkable job on Isaiah Stewart. Held him, I think, 3 field goals, 5 rebounds, a bunch of turnovers. Do you kind of try and do the same type of thing where you have a lot of doubles in the post, or do you try and mix it up just to kind of keep them off balance?
I think got to mix it up. They've actually changed a little bit. They're playing him at the 4 some, which makes them incredibly big. So we got to prepare for that a little bit. And I don't know if I got to dig a little deeper on them, and they've settled in like Battle's showing us they're getting more experience and guys like that. So it changes them a little bit, but that playing Timmons and they even played Brian Penn Johnson a little bit, who's a good player, and moved Stewart over. That's really big, and I think that's one of their counters to when people are throwing different coverages at Stewart.
One guy who did really do a lot of damage last time was Naz Carter, had 18 in the second half. A lot of it coming kind of from the middle of the key. What do you do to try and kind of take away those open looks for him this time?
Yeah, no, I felt he really got to the basket too. He just, hit some mid-range shots and a good one-on-one player. So they, like I said, Stewart. You got Stewart, McDaniels. They got their guy. They got three there, and Carter's a really good scorer, plus some other. And like right out there, he stretches the floor. So I think they have some ways to get you, and we'll have to. I think you're just gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to step up and do a better job on them and force them into a little tougher shots.
Noah going to be in McDaniel's ear again?
I'd be surprised if he wasn't. So they're obviously close. Played AAU together and known each other for a long time. So I'm sure they'll be chit-chatting.
How deep of a rotation do you plan on going with in Friday's game?
I would imagine their zone can change things a little bit. Like Stanford and them, it's funny because just the way they play, you might alter some of your lineups. But I would assume we'll play solid 7 with 8 and 9. I think Vova's very important in this one. It was hard to play a 5 against Stanford, period. Jeff had his hands full, and, De Silva really hurt us with this one. We need the bulk. We need the size, especially when they play big. And I think Vova did a decent job there, and we need him.
Last time out against the Huskies, it was sort of a pick your poison with the Huskies, whether it was guarding a corner 3 or a free throw line jumper. Do you sense that may kind of impact Friday's matchup? Maybe the Huskies might kind of be more active on the switches.
You're talking about for us trying to score or them trying to score?
Just for them trying to defend either the
three
or the free throw line jumper.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to do what they do. I don't think they're going to change much. They're going to dare you to make some shots in some spots, and they might bring more pressure. I don't know to maybe turn you over a little bit. They had a little success with that, so maybe we'll see more man. I don't know.
I believe you guys have led the conference in three-point defense. Can you talk about that and why that's been such a priority? And I think most of your teams at USF and Columbia have been pretty good in that category.
Yeah, it's just an emphasis that I'll dial it back to like the analytics part, like what we value in practice the first 5 weeks. And that's I looked at our like Ken Palm like every year. Like it's just something we don't emphasize. I mean, obviously emphasize it, but it's part of our defense that we always usually run you off the 3 a little bit and expose you to some other areas. But that's an important part. It's guarding 3. We need to make a few too. That would help.
Do you want the Seattle guys, Noah and CJ and Tony, to kind of lean into coming back home and playing in front of their home
No.
crowd? No.
Actually, no. I'd rather just have them focus on us and try to temper their emotions a little bit. I'm sure they're going to be excited, and you want to be excited and they're going to compete hard, but would just prefer them to try to focus on their teammates and focus on their team.
Did you spend any time recruiting Noah when you were down at USF?
I did.
What do you remember about the first time you saw him play?
Oh, just a really good athlete, and actually I just didn't think we could get him at USF, to be honest. Playing for Rotary, he's a good player, but the one there, and we started recruiting him when he was pretty young, just touching base because his dad started off at USF, and I knew he had roots in the Bay Area. His dad played at Bishop O'Dowd, I believe, and was at USF when it was in its glory years, right on the tail end there, before he transferred up here. But I was just waiting to see the Pac-12, see if it shook out, and we're just kind of fair catch, hoping for him to come down there. And he played football too. That might have curbed his recruitment a little bit.
What do you think his attitude and demeanor have been for the team off the court, and maybe also on the court in the locker room? And
I just think he's a big believer.
Yeah.
He just really has a lot of confidence. He's still young and has plenty of growing up to do, but I think he's brought a pride in the program. I think he's fearless, and like a big deal was like in recruitment is like now make a big deal about his dad, and he hasn't. Like his dad was a good player here, and he's carving out his own niche, and he definitely. He wants to see. That's what I like about him most. He's proud to be a Coug.
Does he kind of play like a guy that needs basketball rather than just kind of wants it, almost? If that makes sense.
I know what you're saying. I think he's kind of. I just think he likes to compete. I think he's not. He's what you'd say. He's not afraid to fail. He's not afraid to fail late on the line, and prefer guys that have that approach. I call him a trier. He's a trier. You know, guys are trying. You can kind of steer them in the right direction. The hiders, they're harder to get. Got to prod them a little bit.
Anyone on the line? Okay.
All righty.
Thanks.
Problem.